Sparks Nickel, hello. Wicked 2, hello. How are you doing? I have to be honest. I am now in my bed. I did not slept before, and now I have a magnifier on my screen so that I could use it from further away. I think it's also quite cool for the viewers. I think I will keep this feature for my streams. I will just wait for others to maybe start streaming and then raid them. I'm not sure if anyone will start, but if Gold starts to stream, I will immediately, I think, yeah, raid him, because I want to see what he is up to, what he's doing. Yeah. I did update my info from the Steam, Twitch, but I'm not sure if it updated. Oh, it did. So yeah, VoxEdit got a big, good update. Hodl Hill should be very happy, because maybe not Hodl. I'm not sure, but all the Mac users should be very, very happy, as I understand. I really am very happy with the VoxEdit development team. They are really building one-of-a-kind software. Yeah, it's a really cool software. If you learn to use it, basically you have a profession in your life. Okay, so what I want to try to do is something interesting. Of course I want to test the new functions, so let's just create probably a new asset. I'm also doing this for all of the not experienced VoxEdit viewers. I'm not very good with VoxEdit, and I will try to be as clear as I can what I'm trying to do and why I'm trying to do it. But let me know if I leave some parts unclear or not informative enough. But yeah, I want to do some informative streams. VE still not working for me on Mac. VoxEdit still not working. Oh no, Wicked YouTube. Why? What does it say? Can I ask GPT-4? Send me the error. I have GPT-4 with plugins. The plugins! Oh my god. I'm afraid of the ChatGPT-4 plugins. Crazy plugins. Okay, so what we want to do is to... Oh, I cannot do this like so, because VoxEdit does not like it. Okay, what if I do... Did VoxEdit crashed? Or did it break it? I did break it, I think. Okay, so I have to kill it. So I press Ctrl, Shift, Escape, and it opens the task manager on Windows. I go to processes and I just kill the VoxEdit. Where is the VoxEdit? Just go to the memory. It should use a lot of memory, I think. Open JDK platform binary. It does not show that this is the VoxEdit. Yeah. When you click down there and task, it should kill it. Okay. And now we want to launch it again. I have it on my other screen. So through mirror, or how to say the lens, you should be able to see all of the screen. Okay, now it's not good. And the problem is that I have to temporarily remove the mirror, not the mirror, the lens. I have to set it not to full screen. So basically, I don't like how Voxedit works in full screen. So I don't make it full screen. I make it just a tiny bit around smaller. I feel like my two screens that I have then work much better then. Alright, what's next? Yeah, and we want... I did miss something here. I'm not sure. Oh, the lens, of course. So I press Windows, Control Windows plus? No, Windows Shift plus. Or I just press here and enter magnifier. And let's keep it, I don't know, let's keep it right here. I do want to see the chat. I moved to Windows 11 and Hoddle Hill is here! Hey Hoddle Hill! Wicked2 is saying it doesn't show up on the screen at all. My god, this one is just too small. So basically you launch the Voxedit and it does not show on the screen. Do you have some sort of, you know, control panel where you can see what kind of things are running? I'm not sure for the Mac how are they set up. But you should write a ticket. Definitely they need this input. You know, there is not a lot of Voxedit users that use Mac just because it did not work before. So basically there is none. So you're probably the first one. Maybe not the first one, but like Task Manager, yes. And if you see it, basically what I would write support to, maybe you could write, maybe it's possible to write a log. Maybe, you know, if Voxedit crashed or something, maybe they can, the Voxedit can write a log of why it crashed. And it might be helpful for them, because, you know, they will make it work for you. Like they will develop it for Mac, and then all the people in the world could use Voxedit on Mac. Just because you give input. That's pretty cool in the community thing. Right, so what I want to do is I will just go on desktop and I will just create a new folder. But on Windows 11 the desktop is not desktop, so I will just go to D and I don't know, let's create, we also cannot here. I'm not sure I remember how to create a folder. So okay, this is my download folder. Oh, I pressed open file, stupid me. Okay, so we want to create a new asset. Right now I can see create a folder. Yeah, so in D, let's create let's go here, just create Vox, no, let's call it stream. Okay, so what it did, it created a file inside my Voxedit folder, which is usually on the C drive, which is not cool. I do not like when softwares use up, you know, your C drive, even if you installed it in the D drive. But unfortunately it does. And maybe in future we will be able to change the, I would call it like cache. This is all the really important things. Okay, so right now I do have a VXA, VXR and VXR files. And let's try to open with the Notepad++. So Notepad++ is a text editing tool. It's like a simple notepad, but it has 2 pluses. So it's maybe twice or 3 times as good. And I'm just looking at the beginning, if I somehow know something about it, how to say, if I recognize it, and not completely. So I do not know if it's possible to lock or unlock files like it was before. Probably not. But furthermore, yeah. Okay, so we get our... I can just move it down here. What will the VoxEdit do? Nothing. Okay. We have our space. These lines show like the different coordinates. So for example, you can see the blue lines right here. And then green, the red ones, they are corresponding to these arrows. It's quite useful to even write down somewhere which one is like X, which one is Y, and which one is Y. Alright, so there is a lot of functions that we could test, but first of all, skeleton. Okay, so let's just click and see what kind of functions it gives to us. Create a child, select hierarchy, import hierarchy. Okay, let's just create a child 0, 1. And after 0, 1, let's create let's create another child. Is it me or is it lagging? I think it does not like my mirror. Not mirror, my lens. No. Do you have to be like this? I can work with it. Maybe. So let's create another one and let's call it 0, 2. Okay. Another really cool function, so I want to really show. So for example, I want to create this 0, 2, but I could just delete it for now, and I could just select it, press Ctrl and press Ctrl D and drag it. It's a function from the previous update. I'm interested, is it working? Okay, so it's really hard to work with this skeleton when we do not have any geometry attached to this file. So basically this is two kind of, you see on the different sides we have these two different kind of things. So this skeleton is like the data, like the information, like a skeleton, yeah, like a deep kind of information. And the library is like the geometry, which the skeleton explains how the geometry should go. And we would need to create something, because currently we have an empty space. And VoxEdit is really cool because it uses voxels. So if I, okay, yeah, so I can create a new VXM. VXM is a specific VoxEdit file. So it's like similar to Vox file, which is Vox file. You can create voxes in the Magica Vox software. Yeah, it's a really cool software, has a lot of functions. But we will create right here just again. Oh, I pressed something wrong. No VXM, we enter 01. Okay. And what I want to do is probably just go all the way. Oh, I did open something. Oh, I probably pressed F1 or something. I want to go with scale down. I want to add. I want to also create a new palette. So new palette, and I want to set the color to white. I put one voxel, and then I go up to until I got 32. So this is one block. I go back, and now we can attach this geometry. So this is like a file which explains a geometry, and it's a part. So it could be a lot of these VXMs which create more complicated things, though even the VXR itself can be quite complicated. So for example, in the avatars, the head is one VXM. It cannot be two VXMs. The head has to be one VXM. Of course it can have, you know, different kind of parts, different kind of design, but for example, for the head it has to be one. It's really helpful to understand when you start to design something. Alright, so what I did, I just clicked and dragged and put it on the skeleton part. So this is called a node, and I can just drag and drop the geometry onto that node, and then it grabs it and shows me in my 3D viewport. So this is where I rotate. So this is called viewport. Now I should be from the previous version of the version. I should be able to control drag. Okay, how can I shift D? Let's find a help. Oh, okay, there is no that kind of help. I see keyboard right here. Okay, so let's go to select here, Shift A, copy keyframes, C, duplicate and rename node, Control Shift plus D, duplicate and rename node, Control Shift plus D. So why it did not work? Control Shift. Oh, I did not try this combination, you mean? No. Maybe I have to grab it and no. Okay, let's try to rotate. No, still. Does not allow me to Control Z. So if I want to set it back to straight, right here I clicked on the inspector. So this is called inspector. It allows you to position and rotate in some sort of really precise way. So I could just set this value to 0. Control A 0, and it's back to straight. Okay, so I'm really sad that I'm not unable to do that. I will really try until probably I succeed or just give up. What is the chat doing? Bob Ross of Voxel. Why? Let's keep from artists. No, Bob Ross is wonderful. He's yeah. Okay, so let's create another node and call it 01.01. Yeah. And let's go again look at those shortcuts. What I'm doing wrong? Quick shortcut guide. Control H. Is it Shift H? Yeah, okay, Shift H. Shift H for the instruction. Quick short. Select a node 1. Where was that? Copy keyframes. Okay, so is there multiple like modes inside? I do not understand. Now I do see this, you know, duplicate and rename node. Control plus Shift plus D. Okay, as I remember, you just hold Control, Shift and D and just drag. Yeah! Did you saw it? And it asked me to rename a node. And you know, you could create yourself a macro. You know what? Let's do it. I'm here to show some cool things for the front end. So I do want to launch this software called Actiona. It's a automation tool. It's open source. I really struggled a lot to find it. It's not really popular, but it's really makes your life easy. So right now I want to change these ones to twos. So what I tell the software, I say it click. So click, and there is this X. I can mark it click right here. Okay, and it created an event. Now I can just run the macro, and it clicked. Okay, and I need to get to this kind of situation, as you can see, where my marker is ready to type, and I do want to go with arrows. I want to go back one, delete, and maybe I could even do something smarter, like take this value, like copy paste this and add one. But I feel like for you know, I just felt like it will be too complicated for me to make this. I'm not in that kind of power mode. So you know what? I will just rename the node. I'm here for the Voxedit. Oh, do we have to really name it? Okay, I will do it manually. So my way of naming is basically something like that, I think. This one is not right. This one should be 0.2. Okay, so 01 has a child 01.01, 02 has a child 01.01. Yes, okay. Because father is the first number and the child itself, like its own name, is the newest number in the line of whatever the logic or skeleton is. Because you know, you can really create some complicated things. Alright, let's do the same. So I now select this node. I could also select nodes just clicking in the skeleton. So I just click there. I click Ctrl-Shift-D and I drag it. Okay, now I just probably change this to 3. And it did not ask to change the name for the child. I would love that they would make that it also ask a second time what is the name of child. Of course it would be annoying, because you know, if you have a lot of childs, yeah, it would be annoying. Just rename it if you need it, want to. Okay. No, I want to change the names. So this one is the third one. Am I right? Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's possible, you know, to make a macro for this little renaming with one button. So you make one button on your keyboard, you press it, it does the thing, and you can continue on working. Sorry for that sound that came out of me. It was a bit unexpected, even for me. All right. So what's next? Okay, so I will just continue, but I will stop the renaming. Okay, interesting. So I grabbed the wrong node, and I do need to change it. So this is, for example, at 3.2. Yeah, okay. And it currently does not have a geometry, but noticed that the orange lines are showing still the cube. why is that? So we could click on this cube icon, you know, cubes are everywhere, cubes are everywhere in the software. If we press it, it shows the collision boxes of your geometry. And basically right now we have these white cubes that are colliding, and we also have these child nodes which is also colliding. And basically if you have an empty node, the collision box of that node is full box. So what I like to do, I like to create a new VXM, call it 00, not I9, 00, even maybe 3 zeros to correspond to 3 axes, and new palette, set it to white, and I go to just minimum, just one voxel, and I leave it empty, nothing in it. And we can then save it, go back, and right now, as you can see, I have this purple lined cube, which indicates that there is a collision box right here in this asset. But if I even drag and drop it, I cannot drop it on here because there is no like some surface to land on, but I can just add it like this, I think. Yeah, and as you can see, now it added the axis and it removed the collision box. So in this kind of way, I can minimize the collision blocks to the smallest possible unit, which is 1 voxel, and that voxel is transparent. I scroll back, so I zoomed very much. Let me scroll back. I can always click this target icon to just center to the root. So this is like the world. Other software use it like a root. And it's quite important point in your design. Some softwares allow you to change this root, though not quite. It's complicated. As I understand, it's complicated. For me, it's complicated. So, okay, what's next? What I want to do, I want to check also PandaPop's stream, what are the new functions, but maybe I could open another VoxEdit. Can I open another VoxEdit? I did click on the VoxEdit. It did not open. Let me check. Does it has 2 of them? No. It would be wonderful if they allow us to have 2 of them. It's very, very good to, you know, to open one file and then reference it, building another one, because you don't have a very good, at least I do not have a really good memory, you know, to open a file, look at how it looks, and then go back to another file and do the modification that I want to. And yeah, it just, you know, I do understand, you know, take a screenshot or something, but it could be much more versatile software if it would have this feature. I really forget the chat. Sorry, viewers. Nice, you're chatting here. That's great. So, is anyone streaming? Or is it just me? I do need to check this from time to time. Maybe I can just leave the open just to know if everyone is streaming. I will utilize my other screen. Okay, so what I want to do next is to create a little bit smaller VXM. You know what? No. I want to create more geometry. So the way I want to approach this, I want to create simple geometry that I could use in many ways. So for example, cube is wonderful. It's one of the most versatile shapes in nature. Even in math, you know, it tiles, it has flat surfaces. It's cool. But let's create a new VXM and let's call it flat 256. Oh, not wine. Not 1. 256. Why 256 is because this is the maximum size of the VXM file. So VXM file has maximum size of voxels, and it's a cube of 256 voxels in every axis. And when I mean by flat, I mean that this object is only having 2 axes. So yeah, flat is basically meaning that it only has 2 axes of voxels. So what I'm gonna do is I will just go to maximum size. As you can see, I click up and it does not allow me, and if I look at the axis like red, green and blue, it's all 256. This is the maximum size of your collision box, of your geometry, of your, yeah, basically your collision box and your geometry. Now, new functions. Okay, so let's look through the new functions if we could see any kind of new buttons. MISC. So I do see this kind of volume resizer. Yes, oh my god, this is such a great feature. So this is what I meant by big good. It's big and it's good. Look at that. That's how the software should work. Yeah. I love the Voxedit developers. They really put the things that you need. I'm interested. Now, if I create a sphere, so what I want, first I want to new palette. I want to create a sphere, so I select a sphere tool right here. It shows some sort of sphere symbol. There is 4 functions. Maybe I should start explaining a little bit about the modes. So there are modes. When we are working with a VXM, so notice one thing. This is where we are able to see when we have a big file like 256, it's really takes a long time to save, which is normal. Maybe Voxedit crashed. It did not like that I create this big asset empty. No! What are the viewers doing? Sorry, viewers. Oh, it got back. It saved. Okay, so that took it quite a bit. So notice that right here, this is a view. Oh no, it's working. Okay. I can see the skeleton, and my viewport is showing all of the VXMs. But there is also another layer of editing inside Voxedit, which is inside the VXM itself. So this is, as you noticed in the top, is called stream.vxr. So this is vxr with a r at the end, and this is probably let's call it I don't know. It's really good. So yeah, I don't know what to say, but VXR file. And these other, which do explain the geometry, is called the VXMs file. So for example, if I create a new, I can create a VXM file. So let's call it, mesh. I use it at M for mesh. At least I'm guessing that it's for meaning the meshes, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so I can always go to this VXM, I can double click it, and now I'm in the VXM editor. So this is not anymore a VXR editor, this is a VXM editor. Of course, this is also related to the in the menus. Oh, I could press just no. My god. So the Voxedit calls it the modeler and the animator. Save that goddamn file. Come on, it's only 256. It's not squared like in 3 dimensions. Voxels, please. Oh, okay, maybe you just needed to ask it nicely, kindly. And okay, let's save the VXR, and as you can see, there is the modeler and there is the animator. So these are also very correlated to the VXM for the modeler and VXR for the animator. So yeah, this is quite easy to understand. R for the animator, M for the modeler. So this is a VXR file, so this is a animation basically, and we do have a timeline right here, but I do want to edit the VXM, and I do want to create some geometry right here, and for that I do have 4 tools. I do have a tool to select, so I can drag and drop, drag and how to say, yeah, just drag and select. Then I have a function which is just, maybe I will just scroll to the, I can just add, you know, some sort of lines with the voxels. Another one mode is to color. So this, we are talking about this top left part where we have these 4 buttons. It's also correlated to 1, 2, 3, 4. So it means that these functions are probably quite often used, yeah. So basically you're always just clicking between these kind of functions, because if you want to add voxels, you select this tool, which is create mode. The other one is to paint. So paint is correlated to the material and to the palette. So, but we will leave that later on. First, let's just use one color. And then we have the other function is to delete. So if I want to delete something, I have to select this tool. Basically, if I want to add, I have to select the create tool and then click and drag. And if I want to delete, then I have to select the delete tool and then click and drag. So this was really unintuitive for me. I really struggle a lot with this. Sometimes I'm wanting to add voxels, but I'm actually on the remove function. I click and it's not what I wanted, and I just do a lot of random clicks just because I'm trying to revert the situation. So I would really suggest to really keep close attention to these add, create mode and this erase mode. And shortcuts are 2 and 4, I think. Let's go and check it. Paint mode. Create mode is 2 and erase mode is 4. Yeah, so 2 and 4. I would suggest for Voxedit developers to use space. Unreal Engine uses space to change between those, and it's so comfortable. Maybe it's just for me, but it's wonderful in Unreal Engine to do that. To rotate, to move, you just press space and you cycle between the modes. So basically you don't need to go with a mouse and click if you're not familiar with the shortcuts. For me now it does not even work. I'm not sure. Oh, now it works. Okay, I have my Bluetooth keyboard going low on probably battery. Alright. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to delete everything I got right here, and I'm gonna do with tools. But with tools, I would say just play around. I will not explain how they work, because there is so many ways to use them. You just need to play around with them. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a sphere. So I'm not sure how to use this function, so that's why I want to use it. I drag it, I clicked it at the top of one corner, and I drag it to the very other corner of the geometry. It did not do nothing. Okay, let's try maybe smaller or something. It did not do anything. I'm on delete mode. So you notice what I mean? Yeah, so I'm always doing this kind of error. I'm always trying to, you know, add voxels, and I'm asking why this is not happening, while I'm just, you know, forget it to set it to the right mode. Alright, so it's lagging, but the sphere is here. I moved the mouse a little bit, it seems to help. Okay, we have something. So now I want to go to the resize tool. Why I'm doing this? Alright, Sparky might be starting in about minutes. Alright, as soon as I see that it's live, maybe I should refresh the... Oh, we should rate it and just view what is the Sparky Snickle up to. I want to move it, and as you can see, it does not cut. It's interesting, what's it gonna do? It did not cut? What? Interesting. So we have geometry out of the... What is this? Number of voxels, we have geometry out of dimensions. It's out of dimensions. Can we push it far? Okay. Let's try to leave maybe just a slice. What happens? Interestingly, what if I go now to the delete? Nothing happened. Okay. Okay. Should I press enter? Enter? Maybe... No. Okay, what if I just move a tiny bit and press, I don't know, whatever? It did not change. The scheme root art is saying there is another file which we did not talk in right here is VXA, A for animation. Yeah, we did not talk about those. There is also a separate file for the... It's like a smart contract, just in not contract language. For the animation data. I'm not sure how does this tool work. Volume resizer. Can I press this cut? Did it work? No, it just shrunk my collision box. Oh, my dimensions. Can I just go? No, and I cannot revert it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select the delete, I'm gonna select the box, and I'm gonna just outbox everything. Fastest way to delete, and it takes, somehow it's very fast to delete, because usually, as you can see, this is a very big VXM, and it deletes instantly. So again, I will just go down to 1, and then go up to set, you know, the squared numbers. It's always quite good to be in the, you know, 32, 64, 128, and what is lower? 128, and then yeah, 256 voxels, and just basically keep this rule in mind of double numbers, or how to say binary numbers. I'm not sure if that's the right name. Don't quote me on that. Alright, but well, maybe I figured it out how that tool works, but what I want to do now is just to select this tool, which just creates a plane, and I just want to click on the bottom plane to create a 1 voxel plane. And what I'm gonna do, as you can see right here, I have a green line which indicates the green axis. So I can come here at the top and just press 1, enter 1, and it will delete all of those. Alright, so what we made, That was quite a plane, no? So much talking to create a plane. But I feel like I did a good job regarding creating a plane. It's a great plane. So I have an empty node right here, so I will add it. Okay. So what do we have now? We have the biggest possible plane that we can have. Of course, we can just Control-Shift-D hold all of those and just drag it. And we will call it, you know what? We will add it 0.01 again. And we will just what I'm trying to do, I grab this node, which is this plane which I just duplicated, and I drag it to the node that I want to child it. Okay, something happened which I did not expect to happen. It put me into the VXM editor, maybe because I parented wrongly. So this node I don't want to parent to this this child should not be parented to this parent. So I just drag it to the level above. And now I have noticed that I have these lines in that kind of position. You should always look at those. I want to parent this to this one, and now I can just move this to 256, 256, and it's equally in the right place. What can I do now? We could try an interesting technique, but maybe not for now. No. Okay, so we have two planes. We will later on give it a better name, but for now the numbers will work sufficiently good. What we want to do next is, so why this cube is quite helpful for me, this is because this is a usual avatar collision width, or how to say, yeah, width. Basically you could go through one block gap. What I want to do next, I want to create a door. So for now we're gonna start to create something, I think. So yeah, also one thing that I want to show, maybe it's important for some kind of senses, if we click on the lamp we can rotate, you know, the angle of the sun, which is really actually sometimes great, you know, if you're working from certain angle, it might help you to see the difference. Yeah, so it's always fun to play with these. Also what I want to say or mention, noticed this blue line and this white arrow that is added. So this is the front. And honestly, I find it kind of useless, though sometimes it's really helpful. So yeah, just know that there is, you know, some sort of point of reference in which side do you make your asset. So I will make my asset in this kind of way that this axis, which is right there, and I can just enter right here 0, right here 256, why I enter 1 every time? 256. Alright. Is it right? I want to check it. Okay, no. It should be minus 256. Alright, yeah. What next? Yeah, the door. So, the door will be another geometry. So, we will create new VXM. Now we can finally have a proper name. So oh, okay, door 01. Okay, so what do we know? Let's try to resize now. Maybe it's only working on the empty. We do know that the avatar is at least 64 height. Oh, it did work now, or do I have to press enter or something? I think it did work, though I do not see the grid, you know, in the upper part. What if I create? No. Teach me. I do have to see the Panda Pop stream. Okay, so just let's enter 64 right here on the green plane. Let's remove this. Okay, on the green. Let's also, one cool feature that might come, you know, someday, that if we enter you know, multiply, for example x, we cannot enter letters, but if we could like do math right here, so for example -12, you know, if I could enter -12 and it will make 20, it would be wonderful. It would be okay, so what next? What next? We want the door. Okay, so my idea now is create a new palette and make it completely black. Let's fill it with completely black for 32, and now make this 64. And how can I fill this? Oh, I know. Okay, so let's go down and let's fill, and let's now go to... Okay, I do not know if everyone saw what I did, but this is a really cool way to work with voxels when to control the scale. The scale is really interesting with voxels. Alright, so what I have right here is the space that I cannot like design. Basically later on I will just delete this black and it will be empty. So right now I can just create door around this, and I will create a new color. How do I create a new color? So maybe I just click on here. Probably, yeah, all of these are already created. Okay, this is quite smart. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is new, I think. That is already all of those here. Even I created a new palette. Yeah, I created a new palette, so all of those are still here. Can I delete a color? For example, if I now select this color and select the color tool and click on this side, it should color only one side, yeah. And what if I delete this? So I select the color and I press... It's right, maybe? No. I do remember being a button like some sort of trash bin. Right here, it's a layer. No worries, let's make this just white. Let's continue. I will figure it out someday. Okay, one thing that what is very hard to work with black is we do not see very much the geometry. What I also like, there is like 4 ways to visualize the voxels, and this one is quite helpful. I can see the individual voxels. It's easy to understand, you know, the density and the size of this thing. I will make it a bit darker. It would be also cool if we could change the color of the grid, maybe someday. But yeah, the VoxEdit team are doing wonderful job whatsoever, so let them do what they do best. Okay, so I do need to add more space around, and this is where probably this tool should help out. I would love if it would somehow miraculously work. Sure what I'm doing and what will happen because of it, but these big good features are a bit having a curve line, learning curve line. What do I press now? Enter, or maybe I need to read somewhere or something? To round mouse right click. Toggle solo layer. Volume resizer to round. Enter. Shift. Space. Not sure what to press to activate the function. Activate. I really want it to work. Please work. It would be such a, you know, because this process of making a collision box bigger is such a hassle. If we fail, you will all see what it means to make it. Just select another tool, Bootloop says. I tried it, so let's select another tool. For example, let's select the box tool, the one that probably uses the most. The shortcut is E. Okay, I clicked it, and the collision box is still the same. The dimensions of the... I did not make it bigger. Not sure what I'm doing. Let's try to with one axis, other tool. No, did not change. Maybe I somehow click this and it updates. What if I go down? Enter. Click other tool. No. You know what? Let's save. And let's close the Voxedit. But just to test. I'm afraid that maybe my mirror, not mirror, my lens. Oh my god. Epileptic lens. Let's relaunch the Voxedit. It grabbed the full screen. Why? Now I cannot see my mouse because of this. So, okay, let me relaunch once again. I'm just thinking maybe the lens is somehow interfering with Voxedit, though it should not. So I go to Animator, I select my stream VXR, I go to door 1. Okay, will it work now? Please make it bigger. Oh, it does calculate something because my computer does not like it struggles a little bit sometimes. It feels. What I press next? Can I just like watch Panda's stream? I think no. I should. It's not good to restream without permission. Let's try to figure it out on ourselves. Different tool. Okay, let's select just different tool. Box. No, it did not change. Okay, just allow me to this not full screen. So what you're suggesting, click expand tool again and saves. Just select another tool, click expand tool again and it saves. Okay, let's try it. I will try to improve the lens. I really like the horizontal one. I think it was quite informative. Maybe a little bit shorter just to see the colors. We don't see that one. No worries. Okay, I click the resize. I drag. Now, how the blue tool looks like. Click expand tool again and it saves. Just select another tool. Just select another tool or to click again. If I blue tulip, thank you. You taught me. Thank you. So now VoxEdit is wonderful. Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is really, really good. It does work. Very nice. So what we want now is we want to create some space around this reddish collision box, let's call it. Why do we need add some space? Because we want to place voxels. So voxels are only placeable, you know, in the inside of this dimension box. And what this tool does, it allows us to like comfortably expand the dimensions of your VXM, which allows you to create geometry easily. Or, you know, once you need a bit more space, it's easy to add that space. Before, it was a really hard work with pivot points and just, you know, some sort of small Rubik's cube. Very, very simple Rubik's cube. Okay, so I did add some space, and probably I could work in the, you know, 32, or how to say, bit system. So what I will do, I will get a calculator, and I know that it's 36, no, it's 32 plus 16. Let's look, what is it? 48. 48 will be too much. Let's minus 8. It's 40. Still too much. Let's minus 8 again. Yeah, 8 again. No, it's not no good that way. Stupid me. Let's add 8. No, 16. What I'm trying now to do is determine what should be the collision box for this doors. Oh, I did change that one, and it moved to the side like before, like it before did. Okay, so did not approve the collision box? Probably I did not. I changed it in the middle of the process. So understood. Once you move the collision, or how to say, new dimension, click again. Wow, it just works. Okay, this is, my mind is blown. Give it the tool. I cannot. So yeah, big news, big news, big features. How, I don't know if any of you watches the PewDiePie. I do sometimes. So big PP, big PP function. Okay, another thing, we will need some voxels at the top to, you know, to have the avatar possible to enter. And finally, so can we do it like so? I want to see what happens. Click again. Click again. It cutted. Okay. So it cutted the geometry. That's good. Now I want to somehow start something to build. Oh, wrong tool. Box tool. Though it's not bad tool. Okay, so what do we have here? We have probably the center. So the center you could always check with the pivot tool. So this is a pivot. This is really important point for your design. If you use this new function, volume resize, I think you could forget the pivot tool. At this moment I will use it just as a reference to find the center. So I know that this is the center. I will do the same from another point. Yeah, I will just find the centers there. I will go to the other tool and just, yeah, let's do it like so. Oh no, I did not want that. Okay, so this will be the width of the door. And let's go to other render way where we could see more of the lines. What I want to do now is just to look at the mirror down, and yeah, it's not comfortable enough just because I cannot see if I grab that. I did. Okay, that's not that bad. And again. Okay. The controls are a bit needing some time to used to. I do feel like, you know, for some people who are just starting, it might be quite hard to get the Voxedit moving the way you want. Oh, who's streaming? OG Nobody is streaming. Let's raid OG Nobody? What do you think? Viewers, let's raid him. No? We will continue someday to fill the door. It will be a very narrow door at the moment. But I will just delete the red, for example. I could select the color, the fill with the color kind of tool, and just delete this. I want to select the delete function. Okay, so now we have this. I don't know how it's in English, but this is a part of the door. And you know what? I will leave some space around it. Later on, I can always just click this button, which corps it to the minimal possible collision box. But always then, after you click this, always make sure that your pivot point is in the correct position, in the position that you want, because it does not update the pivot point. So basically, if you have your pivot point on the side and you cut it, your pivot point is still on the side. So yeah, just make sure to notice where is that pivot point. Okay, so what do we have here? We do need a new kind of child. Create child, and let's call it doors. Did I write it correctly? Yes. Okay. It created it in the root position, and I will just move it up for our little stream. Is it so happened that I moved it right in the... No, I think I need to... Another important thing that I want to mention, if you hold shift when you drag your object, it snaps to the increment number, so basically equal number without the comma and something. So for example, if I don't hold anything, as you can see, I can pull it smoothly, like I can leave it in some sort of, you know, almost like almost 1/3 of the voxel, or even smaller size. But if I hold shift, it snaps to the equal. So yeah, it's useful probably for the beginning of your design. Later on, maybe you want to add some, you know, randomization or something like that. Of course, it depends. All right, yeah. So just because we have some people also streaming, so let's go see what they are up to. So let me remind myself how to raid. I do need the name of this. Okay, I copied. I did saw a raid button some time ago here, so a raid channel. Okay, pick a channel to raid. OG nobody. All right, everyone. So let's see each other at the OG nobody's stream. Thank you all for being with me, and yeah, just thank you for wanting to learn more. See ya. Oh, though I think it will take a minute. Or no. Ready in 5 seconds? Oh, yeah. Alright. See ya later.